Season 2, episode 33 here with me, Alex Bryce. It's going to be me by myself in this podcast. But yes, it had to be. And it's a season finale, okay, I can tell you guys already. But season 3, we're already prepping, and it's going to be insane. So thank you to everyone who follows FC Wonderkid. This is being a phenomenal journey. And we can guarantee that next season we will go bolder. But starting the podcast, I can't go away from this topic, and it affected me. I'll be honest with you guys. Diogo Jota, obviously, rest in peace. One of the favorite players of the national team currently, personally mine, because he was an unselfish player, a very humble person, and everyone that I've spoken that has direct interactions with Diogo Jota, everyone said he was a magnificent person, always looking out for everyone, humble, always giving to people without expecting to receive anything. He was a good person in general. So this was one of the most tragic news I've ever seen in football. Yes, I'm Portuguese, and I understand that being Portuguese, this affected me a bit more, but it was insane. And I think the most insane part of all this is that he's still 28. He's a son. He's a father. He's a brother. And obviously, André Silva also in the crash. André Silva and Diogo Jota, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Two beautiful souls that gave so much to our Portuguese football and will be forever remembered, okay? And I really wanted to say thank you to Liverpool. Thank you to the Portuguese national team players that went and supported the family. It's tough and tragic, as I said, and I really wanted to say here at the start of FC Wonderkid, Diogo Jota, this is motivation for us Portuguese, for anyone that is inspired by an athlete like him, an awesome, a really good person, an athlete. You're inspired by this, and let's make the best out of our life, because this reminds us tomorrow is not guaranteed. And this was really one of those moments. I'm 27 years old, and this affected me. And not a lot of times in football I cried. It was one of those moments I cried when I saw the news. I couldn't believe myself. So everyone, I really wanted to say here in the podcast, it's a finale, and I think it makes sense to mention this big topic here at the start. Rest in peace, André Silva e Diogo Jota, for everything that you've done. Obrigado por tudo. E agora, support and just help the family towards this tough situation. And wanted to mention, and I don't think I should say, I don't want to say too much about this, but it's ridiculous to say Cristiano Ronaldo didn't go to the funeral, this, that, and the other thing. Do you realize what would happen if Ronaldo went there? Like the security, the press, the attention. The family is in a tough situation already. So anyone that's criticizing Cristiano Ronaldo for not attending, you do not have any knowledge about the impact that he would have if he actually went there. A lot of moments, he can't even go to weddings, Ronaldo, in his life. And that's something that it's sad for him, okay? Obviously. And I'm sure he wanted to be there, but out of respect, out of the family, he made the choice to not be there, but be present. Not maybe physically, but I'm sure it's absolutely helping the family in anything they need. Ronaldo, man. If you know Cristiano, you know he's always there for his teammates. And yes, it is what it is. So yes, I really want to mention here at the start of the podcast. In this episode, we're also going to talk about semi-final predictions. I'm going to give my quick predictions here, quick and a bit in depth, and obviously mention transfers and a bit of hope for the World Cup, because I see a lot of people talking about the 2026 World Cup with a bit of hesitation too, because the matches stopping in the middle of a game, it has to stop 30 minutes because of climate reasons. Like, that's insane. Like, the US has to fix this, okay? That cannot happen in the FIFA World Cup. What happened in the FIFA Club World Cup of the match of, for example, when Benfica played Chelsea, it was 5 hours. 5 hours, okay? That can't happen in any spectacle at this global stage, okay? So, semifinals of the FIFA Club World Cup predictions. Let's get to it. One side, PSG Real Madrid. The other, Fluminense Chelsea. Fluminense being the biggest surprise of the competition. And I'm smiling because Fluminense deserves this respect because there's a lot of talent like John Arias, Thiago Silva, the leader that is going to play his former team, Thiago Silva, Chelsea. Oh, it's just poetic. Just like Mbappe playing his former team with PSG Real Madrid. Oh, yeah. That's an interesting fact in both ends. But Fluminense with Renato Gaúcho is a very well tactically prepared team, and honestly, I think they can make a tough matchup for Chelsea. But I'm gonna give the favoritism to Chelsea as they deserve, okay? Because Chelsea did obviously get to this point, and they knocked out Palmeiras. That I think Palmeiras, Fluminense, that would have been insane if that were to happen. But I'm going to give the favoritism to Chelsea. And I like the transfer of João Pedro, okay? Chelsea is moving mad in the summer transfer window already, getting Liam Delap, getting João Pedro. Giovanni Kenda, they confirmed for 2026. Estevão is coming next season. That was a good one too. Estevão playing against Chelsea. But yes, this Chelsea team deserves a lot more credits. And I can say here in this podcast season finale, I expect Chelsea next season to be a top 4 team in the Premier League. Maybe the amount of matches that they played playing in the FIFA Club World Cup can affect the impact of fatigue and everything, but I expect this Chelsea team to finish top 4 because Enzo Maresca knows the players that he has now. And a lot of those players have improved massively in these past couple of months. Moises Caicedo, one of the best CDMs in football. Enzo Fernandez, playing so well in this FIFA Club World Cup. Pedro Neto, showing that he's a valuable player for the Chelsea squad, even though Estevão, Kenda, Cole Palmer, and another winger. They're also referring. Jamie Bino Jitsons confirmed also. Pedro Neto is going to be valuable. And in this FIFA Club World Cup, I might say Pedro Neto has been the best Chelsea player until now, next to Moises Caicedo. But yes, look at the midfield like I was mentioning of Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Andrei Santos, Romeo Lavia, and don't forget my guy Dario Esugu, that he's such a good player, but the amount of depth in this team is insane. And last season, Chelsea had Nico Jackson, good striker. This season now, coming in 2025, João Pedro and Liam Delap as solutions. That is a mega improvement in my eyes. João Pedro, that I think comfortably he'll get more than 10 Premier League goals for Chelsea. And Liam Delap, I think he's going to be one of the biggest revelations of next season in the Premier League. Okay, at Ipswich, he showed himself. But at Chelsea, being the big guy next to, with Enzo Maresca, that coached him at Man City Under-23, Liam Delap, Romeo Lavia, and Cole Palmer, I'm really excited. And Chelsea fans, be excited because, yes, I said I think you're going to go through against Fluminense, and expectations for next season are quite bold. And I wanted to mention this because I'm getting a bit of hate. I'm getting a bit of hate from Brazilian fans that said Portuguese football is shambolic and Brasileirão is the best because of the FIFA Club World Cup. My friends, Porto this season is not the best example to be comparing the Brasileirão. If it was Sporting this season in the FIFA Club World Cup, I do believe they'll also go through. Okay, in the same group with Palmeiras, Inter Miami. So my friends, my Brazilian friends, I'm so happy that all 4 Brazilian teams went through in the FIFA Club World Cup group stages, and I'm really happy to see Fluminense in the semifinals. But I really believe Benfica, Sporting, and when Porto is strong, that I hope Farioli is going to make Porto strong again, they would win the Brasileirão. They would win the Liga Portuguesa if the Brazilian teams came. Gotta trust our teams. Gotta trust our quality. But once again, I'm extremely happy to see the Brazilian teams succeeding in the FIFA Club World Cup. That there's the factor of the weather. There's the factor of they had the preseason. They did their transfers already, like a Paulinho with Palmeiras. They've already sorted the teams for the FIFA Club World Cup. And the European teams are at the end of their season. And some players, let's be honest, ideally everybody wants to be in the FIFA Club World Cup. But there's a player or two that, let's be honest, if they went earlier home and didn't go through in the FIFA Club World Cup, I don't think that's a big issue. And I know a team like Benfica asked Sporting to have the Supertaça, the Super Cup, Portuguese Super Cup, delayed a couple of weeks, but Sporting said no. So it's affecting the schedule of a Benfica for next season that's also having qualifying in the Champions League. So that's the team that's been impacted big time by the FIFA Club World Cup. So we gotta be aware that some teams might in the long term have problems because of the participation, and because obviously some players, they would want to be in vacation instead of being in the FIFA Club World Cup. So those were big factors for the Brazilian teams. Also having a great FIFA Club World Cup, but it also shows the quality, like players like João Arias of Fluminense, Botafogo, that Igor Jesus was signed for Nottingham Forest, Flamengo, Gerson, that went now to Zenit. So much quality in these Brazilian teams, so I'm happy for the FIFA Club World Cup showcasing that quality. But now saying that the Brasileirão or the Brasileirão teams are better than the European teams because Botafogo beat PSG, because Flamengo beat Chelsea 3-1. No, my friends, that's not the case. That's not the case, because when it came to the knockout stage, we saw Bayern Munich beat Flamengo. It was a great match, but we saw Bayern beat Flamengo, and we saw Chelsea beat Palmeiras. 2 examples. So let's see if Fluminense goes to the final. That will be so bold. But as you know, I predicted Chelsea to go through and not Fluminense. But if it happens, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to watch Fluminense make history and maybe win the first FIFA Club World Cup in this new format, which I think is also successful. It's only the delays in the matches that I think there has to be a solution to that issue. And now, going to the other side, PSG, Real Madrid. First things first, I gotta say something that I believe is educational, because I see a lot of people, my friends. Mbappe is now gonna be replaced long-term by Gonçalo Garcia. My friends, it's great to see Gonçalo Garcia play with Real Madrid, a 21-year-old that absolutely loves the club, a 21-year-old with so much quality, and a player that obviously shows to Real Madrid that they don't need to sign another striker. It's so good. A player with 4 goals and 1 assist in the FIFA Club World Cup. But to say Gonçalo Garcia replaces Kylian Mbappe in the starting 11, that is ludicrous. Ludicrous, okay? The golden boot Kylian Mbappe, that Mbappe is the best player of Real Madrid when Real Madrid are going to be playing their best football with Xabi Alonso. Understand this. He is the absolute key. And Kylian Mbappe is facing the team that he left to win the Ballon d'Or. And now a player in that team, Dembélé, which is a fellow colleague in the national team, the French national team, he's now the favorite to win the Ballon d'Or, like Mbappe. If Mbappe wants to make a statement for next season, Mbappe destroys Nunes, that I don't think it will happen, but makes a proper game against PSG, like a hat-trick, like an insane moment, and says to the world, look, Barca, they destroyed us last season. Next season with Xabi Alonso, we're about to go bold, and I'm going for that Ballon d'Or. Mbappe needs this. Mbappe needs this moment. The golden boot, okay? And the best player in terms of ability at Real Madrid. Once again, Gonçalo Garcia, phenomenal season. And in terms of goal-scoring instincts, it reminds me a bit of Raul Gonzalez, okay? I didn't see too much of Raul Gonzalez, but Raul had the nice positioning, had that he could smell the goal coming, and he would be in the right place. Gonçalo Garcia has a bit of that, and with experience, I'm sure he's going to improve a lot more. And I have here my notes, the off-ball movement. It's great to see a player that thinks about the collective defensively, because the best forwards in the world, this season, Dembélé has been the best forward in the world. It's because of his off-ball movement too. He's the first defender of the team. That is crucial nowadays in football. And in the Xabi Alonso system, I can guarantee you every player of that team is going to be moving, tracking back, defending, and that's what Real Madrid does. Real Madrid has to dominate, and off-ball movement is crucial for that. So Xabi Alonso, beginning stages. First, Xabi Alonso has arrived at Real Madrid. He's in the semi-final of the FIFA Club World Cup. He's improved the value of the team. I see Vini and Mbappe and Jude. I think those 3 are going to be starting players. So the start players are also at the same level, okay? They're not being impacted in a bad way with Xabi Alonso. Only Rodrigo, I'm going to get to Rodrigo. But this is a thing that I really thought to me, and I want to challenge you in the comment section to see if you agree or not with this opinion. Arda Güler, Gonzalo Garcia, and the way that Tchouaméni was playing, okay, in the last game, that wouldn't happen with Carlo Ancelotti, okay? So there has been a direct impact, and he's improved the value of some of these players already. And he's just arrived. Xabi Alonso. So I am very hopeful for what's going to come. And once again, Kylian Mbappé, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Junior, Arda Güler, Franco Mastatuono. This Real Madrid team next season is going to offer so much more than last season, okay? Much better football. The tactics, the intensity. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat this PSG team. But, however, the best team in the world right now playing football is Paris Saint-Germain, okay? That's factus. Even though if they lose to Real Madrid, that I think that can happen, okay? Because this is a game where Kylian Mbappé can make the difference. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Tchouaméni, that's the player I wanted to also mention. Tchouaméni, right now with Xabi Alonso, I think next season he'll be viewed as one of the best CDMs in football. And that's what he came for, okay? Tchouaméni came to Real Madrid to replace a Casemiro. And I think in this style of play, in this fluidity style of play, with a lot more positional intelligence being asked to Aurelien Tchouaméni, I think he's going to be very, very good. If you watched Bayer Leverkusen, I'll compare him to Ezequiel Palacios with Xabi Alonso. He had this intelligence and the right passing, the right defensive positioning, a lot of times tracking back and being between the defenders. Tchouaméni is going to be a lot better this season, and also a key factor. Arda Güler, wanted to mention, it's a now or never moment for Arda Güler. That's why we see Arda Güler playing so well, because if Franco Mastatuono comes to Real Madrid, I said it in the past, I think Franco Mastatuono will start for Real Madrid. I think it will have an immediate impact once he arrives in Madrid. And Arda Güler obviously knows about this, and he knows he has to make the best out of this FIFA Club World Cup with Xabi Alonso. That I can feel it. I can feel it. This is a breakthrough moment for him. And a bit of a Ozil region with some of the movements too. But yes, this is a lot of thoughts that I had of Real Madrid. And once again, Gonzalo Garcia, great squad player, but this nonsense of saying he's better than Kylian Mbappé, oh my days, no. Rodrigo, before I finish, Real Madrid, Rodrigo guys, 3 favorite teams to sign him: Arsenal, PSG, Man City. If I were Rodrigo, I would 100% go to Man City with Pep Guardiola. It's also poetic, okay? One of the most important goal of Rodrigo Gomes' career was against Man City. We'll never forget that last-minute goal. But Pep Guardiola, with Rodrigo Gomes, with Ryan Cherki, with Erling Haaland, with Phil Foden, the scenes, okay? And I know Arsenal, with Saka, Gyökeres, Rodrigo, that would also be quite good to watch, but still, the depth that Man City have, it just gives guarantees to Rodrigo Gomes. On the bench, there will be Doku, there will be Savio, there will be Oscar Bob that he might need to leave, but it's just safer as a career option for Rodrigo Gomes to go to Man City than to go to Arsenal. Even though I'd love to see Arsenal getting Rodrigo, and I think 100% Arsenal needs to sign a left winger and a striker, which we all see is Victor Gyökeres. So, but for Rodrigo, the best career choice I think would be Man City and Paris Saint-Germain. Barcola, Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, Desiree Doué, Dembélé, like, enough of the wingers. But they might sign another winger because they like playing with a winger at false 9. So Gonçalo Ramos and Dembélé, they might have another player that can make that position. Now, talking about PSG against Real Madrid, also Dean Huijsen and Willian Pacho are 2 players that will not be playing in the semi-final, and also has a big impact in the predictions, because Real Madrid without Dean Huijsen, that's going to be a different Real Madrid. Dean Huijsen, that's fantastic. Dean Huijsen arrives at Real Madrid and he's 100% a starter. And for me, the best center back, Rudiger, levels, okay. Rudiger, one of the best center backs in the world. But Dean Huijsen arrived at Real Madrid. The ball-playing ability of this man is insane. And the calmness, the composure. Spain are so lucky to have Kovarzi and Dean Huijsen, okay? And Asensio's in the mud. Asensio is in the mud with this. But going back to what I was saying about PSG have a big factor, and I can notice this in the knockout stages more. And I'm sure you two people, even though they were without two players, they scored a goal with Hakimi and Dembele having a great movement. But this has to be focused a lot more. That it's, yes, PSG has the best midfield in the world with João Neves, Vitinha, and Fabien Ruiz. But PSG, most importantly for me, have the best fullback duo in the world with Nunes and Hakimi, and in the style of play of Luis Enrique, playing in the counter, that is massively important. And it's not just the best duo, it's the best left back Nunes and the best right back Achraf Hakimi. It's insane that PSG managed to have these two players, elite recruitment. They didn't arrive last season or 2 seasons ago. This was a project that was planned, envisioned. Like I saw Nunes at Sporting. I already thought he would be the best fullback in the world. PSG saw the same as me. PSG saw the same as me, and thank you PSG for making that happen, okay? Training with Messi, training with Mbappe, training with Neymar, and now training with Dembele, Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, Desiré Doué that has Ballon d'Or potential. Nunes is the kryptonite of any top forward, and it was the right career choice to go to PSG. I want to really thank PSG for what they're doing with our Portuguese players. Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's helping our national team that we won the Nations League, along with the impact of Vitinha, seeing João Neves playing at right back, seeing Nunes, Hugo Gonçalves Ramos, that he's now a father in Paris, so it's always good to see. He must be happy in Paris, and I'm sure he's going to offer a lot more if he's trusted and he has more minutes. But I really mean it. Desiré Doué. Lamine Yamal is obviously the player that we can say in the next decade he's going to be in the Ballon d'Or top 5. We can say that. But Desiré Doué, I also think we can say that. Crucial goal against Bayern Munich. Crucial final. One of the best finals I saw from a Wonderkid in the Champions League final. Desiré Doué is that guy. In the sense that big moment happens, he appears. Desiré Doué likes this. And that's a lot for a player that is 19, 20. It's so good. It's so good to see. So this PSG Real Madrid game, my prediction goes to PSG, the best team in the world. However, if Real Madrid wins, it's an absolute beast masterclass from Kylian Mbappe, going 100% bold against Ousmane Dembele and PSG, okay? And I want to also ask you guys in the comment section, if you can answer, is Vitinha the best midfielder in the world this season? I had a big discussion with my friends about this. Some say Pedri. I say Vitinha because of the overall importance that he has in the style of play of PSG this season. No Vitinha, no 100% trophies. That's my opinion. But let me know. So I go PSG beating Real Madrid, tough. And I go Chelsea beating Fluminense. No surprises. I think the final is going to be PSG against Chelsea. But let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. Now, transfers. I mentioned Rodrigo Goes, Arsenal, PSG, Man City, but I have to talk about Victor Gyökeres. I'm going to take my phone out because I need to say stats. I need to say stats here, okay? Once again, I have to state this, and we had a comment on TikTok that I said, I follow a lot of the Arsenal communities, and people are not doubting Victor Gyökeres. A lot of people are doubting Victor Gyökeres, my friends, and the fact that Arsenal think that they can sign Victor Gyökeres for the same price tag that they signed Zubimendi as a defensive midfielder, no, that can never happen, okay? So, Arsenal fans, I have a lot, I'm giggling because it's Victor Gyökeres is the best player I've ever seen at Sporting. Bruno Fernandes was magnificent. There was many good players, but Victor Gyökeres was an absolute phenom in the Portuguese leagues, my friends. So at Sporting, 102 games, 97 goals, 28 assists. He wins the league twice in a row. That hadn't happened in Sporting history in 71 years. Sporting hadn't won back-to-back titles. Victor Gyökeres is the best player in the league, and he makes that happen. And let's not forget, in a week, there was 1 week, I think it was in November, Gyökeres scored 4 goals in the league, and then he plays in the Champions League against Man City, and he scores a hat-trick. He scores a hat-trick. The mentality, the way he plays, the sheer leader. This is what I said about Dembele. Off-ball movement being the first defender. Victor Gyökeres doesn't stop. In a full match, he's always going up and down, up and down. And center backs, Gabriel and Saliba, I can guarantee you, they will 100% try to pinpoint the pass to him directly with the space to go at the back of the center backs of the opposing team. Exploit that space. He's just so good, people. He is so good. So anyone that says 80 million is too much for Victor Gyökeres, you do not know ball, and I can guarantee you Gyökeres will be closer to Haaland than he is to a Darwin Núñez that went to Liverpool, and it didn't work out. I can guarantee you Victor Gyökeres is 100% one of the best strikers in the world of football to this day, and if he goes to Arsenal, anywhere he goes, he will add so much quality. 20 Premier League goals next season, I can guarantee you. I'll go bold again, okay? And I'll go to 0 if Victor Gyökeres doesn't score 20 Premier League goals. Arsenal fans, trust me on this, okay? You're going to sign one of the best strikers in football and a player, I've said this, matches the culture. Okay, Gyökeres wants to be a legend at Arsenal. Gyökeres, before arriving at Sporting, he wanted to be a legend at Sporting, and he leaves as a legend of the club. Okay, as I said, back-to-back league winner. Arsenal fans, just treat yourself and the left winger. That has to be a big focus. You get Gyökeres, but don't comfort yourselves with only Victor Gyökeres. You need that left winger. Martinelli is not enough. I've heard Trossard might leave for 15-20 million. So that has to be something that happens. And I even think Eze, I like Eze. Eze would be a good signing, but you need another player, okay? I'd get Eze if Ethan Nwanery doesn't stay, because there's a bit of rumors that Chelsea's asking around. I don't understand how United... Yeah, I'm going to say this now. How isn't United going bold in the market, okay? Signing Matheus Cunha, nice. This flirts with Mbeumo, just get it through, okay? It's embarrassing that United's taking so much time. But the biggest issue for me is the selling. You need to sell a lot of these players. You need to sell Rashford. You need to sell Anthony. You need to say Sancho. And you guys might say, but to who? But to who? Oh, come on. You can sell these players, okay? It is sellable. Rashford is sellable, even though that contract is so shambolic. 300k a week. Anthony, with the loan he had, is sellable. And maybe Casemiro, because Casemiro, he's earning more than 350,000 a week. Maybe he needs to go to Saudi. So this is something that is actually worrying me, and I'm sweating just thinking about this. It's Man United is not selling, and that is a must, okay? Ruben Amorim, in order to sign his new players, Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo, fantastic, but to sign like 5-6 players, that's what Man United needs. He needs to sell like 7, 8, 9, 10 if it's necessary. And Garnacho, okay? Garnacho doesn't have the mentality that Ruben wants. And Cunha, Mbeumo, Victor Osimhen, I think this could get a top 4 for Man United. Could get a top 4 for Man United. So they need to sell 100% and focus with this new team for preseason and to make a proper bounce back, okay? This team finished 15th, Man United. And I see Arsenal signing players. I see City signing players. I see Chelsea signing players. I see Tottenham getting a new manager and also wanting kudos, and I think he's going to go to Tottenham, making moves, and nothing from Man United but Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo. I am stressing out with that. And the team that I really wanted to talk in this podcast here at the end is Liverpool. Liverpool is moving like the Galacticos this summer transfer window, getting Florian Wirtz, getting Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong to replace the fullback duo of Trent Alexander-Arnold that has left, and Robertson. That's elite. That's elite. These are two players, Frimpong and Kerkez, that fit the culture. These are two players that will play tremendously well with Arne Slot. This is really scary for Arsenal. Because if Arsenal doesn't win the league another season, signing Gyökeres, maybe signing a top left winger, let's assume Rodrigo Goes, and they still finish behind City, behind Liverpool, that will be quite a bad look for Mikel Arteta. So Liverpool, mate. For me, Liverpool are the biggest winners in the summer transfer window. And a prediction I can say here, this is the season finale. Alexander Isak, I think he's also gonna go to Liverpool. So and people say, oh, but he's so happy with Newcastle. He plays Champions League. He will earn a higher salary at Liverpool, and it will be the top contender to win the Premier League and the Champions League if he goes to Liverpool. Don't be duh and think that he's gonna stay at Newcastle and that's his best career choice. That is not the case. The best career choice for Alexander Isak is to go to Anfield, is to go to Liverpool, replace Darwin Núñez, play next to Mo Salah, behind Florian Wirtz. That's gonna be such a menace. Boy, I really think that's going to happen, okay? So I expect the midfield of Liverpool to have Gravenberch, to have McAllister, to have Szoboszlai, to have Florian Wirtz in front, and then to have Mo Salah and Alexander Isak, those two up front, just being a menace. That is insane. That is insane that Arne Slot is going to have a team like this. And we got to give kudos to Liverpool that, as I said at the start of the podcast, also supported a lot the family of Diogo Jota, and they even stated that they're going to pay in full the remaining 2 years of his contract. So Liverpool continue to go bold and to inspire football in general. I think they're the main contenders to win the Premier League once again, and those videos are going to come through in season 3 right at the start. Premier League predictions, La Liga predictions, Real against Barcelona, Serie A predictions that I might call my guy Luca with Juventus. Now let's see how he's going to feel about that. But, and in Serie A, do not forget, I wanted to say to the listeners of Wonderkid, FC Wonderkid, Samuel Ricci. Remember the name. New midfielder at AC Milan. AC Milan got Tonali. AC Milan got Reinders. They're now getting Samuel Ricci, a player very similar to Tonali and to Reinders in terms of profile. And who watched Torino last season? This is a very composed and great decision making with Samuel Ricci. I really like this type of midfielder, and for 23 million, bargain signing. One of the best signings of the summer transfer window. And we said the same when Reinders went to AC Milan. Oh, they keep doing it. They keep making it happen. And once again, if you're listening to episode 33, thank you so much for all the support. And I can guarantee you, this season, there was a couple of weeks that we could have gone a bit bolder. But season 3, we've learned one step back to go 3, 4, 5 steps forward, okay? I'm so hopeful for what's going to come. So thank you to everyone that supports the podcast. Thank you to everyone that listens to us week in, week out. Anyone that supports us on TikTok, on Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Your support is so noticeable, and we really appreciate it here at FC Wonderkid. Thank you for going bold here in the finale, and thank you for going bold with us weekly.